regardless of individual beliefs. Who hasn't taken a moment to imagine what the end of humanity would look like? The event many call the apocalypse. Some popular predictions suggest that, in the distant future, an asteroid could collide with Earth, causing the extinction of the human species, similar to what happened to the dinosaurs. Other theories point to self-destruction through wars or a pandemic capable of wiping out a large portion of the global population. But after all, what does the last book of the Bible, known as the Apocalypse, reveal about the end of history? Undoubtedly, this is one of the sacred texts that evokes both fascination and fear. The Apocalypse is filled with terrifying imagery: beasts, powerful angels, the Four Horsemen, demons, clouds of locusts, and much more. In today's video, we will deeply explore the vision of the end times as described in the scriptures. Welcome to the channel Fatos Entre Mundos. Subscribe to avoid missing other videos like this and support our work with a like. It really helps the channel. If you're not part of our community yet, scroll down a little and click subscribe now. At the end and historical context, many people still ask, will the world really have an end? And if it does, what will become of humanity? The Bible gives a direct answer to this question in its final volume, the Book of Revelation, also called the Apocalypse. Prophecies indicate that the end of history is inevitable, and when that day comes, the scenario will be anything but peaceful. The content of the Apocalypse comes from the visions of a prophet who described horrifying events worthy of a true thriller. According to the biblical account, the end of the planet will involve natural and cosmic catastrophes. The sky will lose its light, hordes of demons will be unleashed, and a series of calamities will fall upon the earth. Yet, even in the midst of chaos, the final message is one of hope. In the end, good will triumph over evil. At the beginning of Christianity, Judeo-Christian communities in the Mediterranean faced intense persecution from the Roman Empire. Rome promoted the idea that the emperor was the supreme authority, almost a deity on earth, directly conflicting with Christian faith, which recognized only Jesus Christ as Lord. In the face of this hostility, the imperial power imposed strict control over the lives of its subjects. Citizens were required to worship the emperor, treating him as a god. Beyond demanding adoration, the system regulated agricultural production, ensuring that the elite maintained privileges at the expense of the poor. This reality clashed with Christian principles, which promoted equality and sharing of goods among all people, regardless of social status. This divergence intensified the persecution of Christ's followers. The origin of the Apocalypse. In this dangerous context, John the prophet, traditionally considered one of the evangelists, is believed to have written the last book of the Bible. He received prophetic visions about the end of history, and based on them, produced the Book of Revelation, known as the Apocalypse. The work was written on the small island of Patmos, in the Aegean Sea. In it, John recorded dialogues and revelations given by Jesus Christ, describing the end times as a period of profound chaos, culminating in the final victory of good over evil. It is important to remember that the Bible is a treasure trove of symbols and narratives. It allows for multiple interpretations, giving different meanings to each reader. The Rapture. Imagine walking calmly when suddenly, thousands of people around you vanish. They were there one moment and the next they evaporate like smoke. The streets quickly empty, and the disappearance is not limited to your neighborhood. It happens globally, leaving only clothes behind. The world descends into complete chaos. Traffic and air accidents multiply as drivers and pilots vanish mid-task. Hospitals overflow with injured people, and many doctors and nurses also disappear. This phenomenon, the wave of disappearances and ensuing chaos, marks the beginning of the apocalypse, known as the Rapture. The people who disappeared were actually rescued from Earth, spared from the tribulations that were about to begin. After the Rapture, the period of the apocalypse begins, characterized by global disasters, wars, and destruction. In the heavenly realm, Jesus holds a scroll sealed with 7 seals, and opening each seal unleashes new horrors, including the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The 4 horsemen. First horseman, white horse. Often associated with the Antichrist, he is a powerful and charismatic political leader, capable of influencing the creation of a new world government. Some scholars interpret this horseman as a representation of Jesus Christ. Second horseman, red horse. Mounted on a red horse, he wields a giant sword and spreads wars and conflicts, destroying peace. Third horseman, black horse. Carries a scale, symbolizing famine and food scarcity, affecting the global population. Fourth horseman, pale yellow horse, embodies death, spreading disease, famine, and destruction, amplifying human suffering. With the opening of the fifth seal, John sees the souls of martyrs who were persecuted for their faith. God instructs them to wait, as the earth still has a test of faith to complete. Final judgment and new world. After 1,000 years of peace for the faithful, the Antichrist is briefly released, but Jesus destroys him permanently. Satan is cast into the lake of fire where he will remain forever. With evil defeated, the final judgment occurs. The righteous ascend to heaven. The sinners are sent to hell. The sun shines again, and a new world arises, a place of eternal happiness, harmony, and absence of suffering. The Bible describes this place as the new heaven and new earth, where God permanently dwells with his people. Even after wars, famine, and plagues, the apocalypse ends with hope and the triumph of good for the faithful. If you enjoyed this content, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you want videos about other visions of the end of the world, whether from religions or scientific predictions, leave your suggestions in the comments. Share this video with your contacts, and show this content to anyone who wants to learn more about the apocalypse and the end times.